Hey YouTube, Repo Man 64. Got a new earpiece. It's a lot smaller, doesn't have the big thing on there. Hopefully it sounds just as good. Um, excited? It's exciting. Today is the day in Israel at some point near 11:11 p.m. tonight where they will see the fullest part of the eclipse of the moon, the blood moon, the full blood moon. So like I said before in the previous eclipse of the sun, usually these eclipses are warnings of things to come. But what was good about it, or what is good about it, is we can actually nail down now, because of the eclipse, the time. It's just too coincidental. The eclipse could have happened a day before, a day after, but it's too coincidental that on the timeline, it falls exactly 3.5 days later, 84 hours later, on the flood. So I want to go through the pictures here. Real quick video. Could we go home today? 4:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know. Do I want to? Sure. Am I going to say that that's when it's going to happen? No. But it's yet another stepping stone. We're almost to the other side. It's another stepping stone that we're going to. And uh, Halloween, October 31st, is the day that God brought judgment on this planet twice before. He brought judgment on all of us because of Adam and Eve's sin. He did this on October the 31st. He brought judgment on sin on this entire planet when he only put 8 souls into the boat and everything else was wiped out and gone. He did that on October the 31st. October the 31st, going into November the 1st, is a very high watch day. So, and remember, any time you see on my timeline, there's basically a 48-hour difference. It's 24, but it's because today it might be a date, but in another part of the world, like right now, I don't know where you're at, it's 10:05 a.m. on October the 28th. That means that we're literally about 6 hours away from the full part of the lunar eclipse. And some people might still, I don't know, but some people might still be on the 19th. Some people might already be on the 21st. So that's why there's this wiggle room that we have. So let me get into the pictures. All right. We're going to start with the timeline that Sister Sandy. Go to, if you want this website or this timeline, go down here. You see the address down there, endtime-studies.com. Sister Sandy has really done me a huge favor. Remember my crayon written one, in that she put it all on a timeline for me. Initially, last year we tried to do this, but there were so many new events popping up, it was hard to keep up. But now that it's pretty much everything that I need on here is on here. It's calmed down. I still find a little mistake every now and again but it's nothing detrimental to the timeline. So where are we at right now? We are here, right in between Heshvan 10 and Heshvan 17. We are in that period of time where Noah has entered the ark. Of course, I thought that we would go when Noah was ordered into the ark, and that those 7 days represented the bride, or Rachel and Leah, Leah given her 7 days. But here we are. We're still here. So we have to compare scripture with as our understanding of the things that are going on. These events of the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse, we can't make them up. They're solid dates. They're absolutely solid. So on October the 28th, for me, at 4:11 p.m. is a solid date. Jesus was in the tomb for 84 hours. He was in there for 3.5 days. He went in on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he came out Sunday morning at 3 a.m. He spent a full 3 days and 3 nights in the tomb, but he died before 3 hours before sunset, and he rose 3 hours before sunrise. That's where we get the 84 hours from. So, could it happen today, or will it be on Halloween? Remember, Halloween is not celebrated during the day. Halloween is celebrated at night going into November the 1st. Then after that, which I don't even want to talk about, I got to put a dash 11 on this, but Noah leaves the ark 1 year and 10 days later on November the 11th. Many have argued that the second we leave, tribulation begins. We're in heaven watching that first seal being opened. Remember that we're not waiting for bombs to drop. We're not waiting for any cataclysmic event to happen. We are waiting to be raptured so that the first seal can be opened, so that all of those events that the Bible speak of are going to happen. We're not waiting for the bombs to drop. But bombs come down, we go up. No, it says very clearly, Satan gets kicked out. He tries to consume us or kill us as we go up. Our event is Satan getting kicked out of heaven. That's the event we're searching for. Is that the day on October the 31st when God purges heaven? He's purged earth twice before. Maybe now he purges heaven and cleans up heaven. He's not going to let us go up there while evil, and yes, Satan is there. Satan is there right now condemning you in the ear of God for everything you've done, every word you have spoken. And he is making it, he's a drama queen. I don't know how else to say it. He's making it seem as though, look, your creation is just horrible. Look what they're doing. Look what this person said. Look what this person did. They stole something. They lied about this. They're cheating. They're stealing. They're murdering. They're doing all these things. But once you are covered by the blood of Christ, that's it. You're covered. That's what Satan wants you to think. He wants you to think that you're too bad to be saved. He wants you to think that there is no redemption for you because you're just too bad. The bad things that we're doing is because you have an evil spirit. It's living inside of you. But once you accept the Holy Spirit, they both can't be in there together. Very quickly after you become saved, you will notice that you'll you were a part of that sin. That sin is still calling you, but there won't be this don't care part about it anymore. They'll be like, oh, I can't believe I did. There's this hatred for it. Doesn't mean you're not going to do it. But like I said, once you're covered in that blood, and that's what Satan also wants you to believe, is that you can lose it. It was never yours in the first place. God gave it to you. It was a free gift. And once you're covered in the blood, you can't become uncovered. The question I always ask is, was what you did a mechanical thing just to kind of hedge your bet? Or do you sincerely, God will not turn away a broken, contrite heart. He won't do it. So that's how, and we can't look at somebody and say, oh, they're still lost in sin. So, they're doomed. They're gone. No, can't do it. Can't judge that because you don't really know what's stirring in their heart and what battles they're fighting. Alcoholism is a horrible. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink. Like I've said since I was a kid, alcohol could disappear off the face of the earth and I wouldn't miss it. I don't care. It's never affected me, but I've watched it, and it's a bad, bad thing where they start and they just don't stop. They just keep going. They don't know. They just don't seem to know when to stop. So it's a rough thing to deal with that. And I've spoken with people. I've spoken with somebody actually in Cool Cat's Clapper app. He uses that instead of Discord, and it had triggered her over this situation, alcohol, and and that's fine. I don't know anybody who drinks. I don't know anybody. None of my family does. My kids don't. None of us really care about it. I do have one son that might drink a little bit too much, but he's young still. So, but nobody else. We just don't have a taste for it, and so um, being mindful of that Just because I don't have any part of that kind of a sin doesn't mean that I'm any better. I'm not. I'm just as bad. Trust me, I've got my others that if you looked at my sin, you'd be like, oh my goodness, what were you thinking? But if I looked at somebody who drank too much, I could never be like, what's wrong with you? Just stop drinking. It's not that easy. So, salvation, I went off on a tangent because I wanted to clarify that salvation is something that is given to you and completed by God. John 6:44 stays on the wall. Nobody comes to the Father lest the Father draw him. So if you're getting that drawing, if you're getting that calling, a genuine calling, that's a very good thing. All right, so here we are, October the 28th. We are at 4:11 in 6 hours from now. It's now 10:13. In 6 hours from now, it will be exactly 84 hours from uh, the time Halloween or begins, I guess. It's the lunar eclipse is my anchor, just like the solar eclipse was an anchor, and it timed it out perfectly. The lunar eclipse is the anchor. Let me go in here real quick and look at this. Here we are on September the 30th. That is, I forgot. Oh, is it? No, September the, hold on, let me go back here because I'm lost. Yeah, September the 30th is the day. That's why. September 30th, on the 29th, at nightfall, Jesus was born. He was born on the 30th. 7 days later, on October the 7th, is the day Jesus was circumcised and named. It's also the day that Hamas attacked Israel with no provocation. We stand behind Israel, we back Israel, and we can find every excuse in the world as to why um, Israel is at fault, but you can never blame Israel because these animals came in and took their children from a concert. I'm sorry, but there's just no explanation for that. There's no reasoning behind that. You want to fight, come in and fight their warriors. Don't come in and take their children. I heard a comment the other day. Somebody said America um, puts its citizens behind its military, and Hamas puts its citizens in front of its military. So there you go. The kind of people we're dealing with. October the 14th was the solar eclipse. October the 21st was a very high watch day for me because it's a day that I thought perhaps because it was 7 days later, and that turned out to be a eclipse of Mercury, the messenger. And on the 28th today is a lunar eclipse. And then on the 31st at nightfall, becoming Wednesday, it will be November the 1st, and that will be Halloween night. I think they're, yeah, All Saints Day, they're calling on the 2nd this year. I'm not sure why. Normally they do it the day after, but on November the 1st, but we shall see. Let's see here. Where am I? Okay, let's get out of here real quick. Let's go on. Remember, blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he shall gird himself, he shall dress himself up, and make them to sit down to meat. You'll sit at a big old table at a banquet, and Jesus will come forth and serve you. Ask you, what do you want? This is what I was telling you before. After 7 years, in the 8th year, on the 17th day of the second month is when Adam sinned. You can find this in the book of Jubilees. Shown you this 100 times. And that's Halloween Day. All right. This is the moment. You see the blood moon right there just in the corner of the moon. October 28th at 23:11 Israel time. And that keeps happening, which is interesting. I wonder if that's when tribulation begins. That keeps happening. So I used it as an anchor. I used the max lunar eclipse as an anchor, and I counted forward 84 hours. And this is when it happens. 11:11 p.m. on the 28th today, here in a few hours. 84 hours later will be November the 1st at 11:11 a.m. Um, in Israel. In Israel, that would make it 4:11 a.m. here Eastern Standard Time. You just do your math from Israel. We always look to Israel. That keeps happening too. I found this. Can you hear me still? I wonder if you can hear me. I found this. I hope the audio is still on. I can't hear. My new headset's acting weird. Um, I found this. Let me see something here. This isn't going to come up because I think I just lost audio. Audio. What is this? Recording. Oh, look at that. It tells me how many percentage it has. I don't even know if I could be heard right now. The my earpiece did something strange. That's going to be messed up. I'm going to stop this and start over again.